Welcome to Behind the Boot, a Louisiana sports podcast. Your favorite weekly show bringing you the latest news in Saints, Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and more. Enjoy the show.
What's happening with y'all? Welcome to Behind the Boot, a Louisiana sports podcast. I'm Dan. It's Jerrette. We'll talk to y'all about a few things in the Louisiana sports world today. We're running without my guy Ryan today. He got the COVID-22 virus, so we'll let him shake back from that. We're gonna hold it down for him, man. And how you feeling, Jerrette?
All right, I'm coolin', bro. Shout out to my boy Ryan. Hopefully he shake back from that COVID.
Quick and speedy recovery for my boy Ryan, man. Have him shake back real soon and hopefully get him back. He ain't too far from the keyboard, so he watching. So we gonna go ahead and run it through, man. We got a few topics to talk about. The most pressing one that we do have available right now in the Louisiana sports, really forecast of sports, really, is the rumors of the Deshaun Watson trade. Rumors is it came out from Andrew Drews for the Happy Hour Saints podcast that from a very reliable source that they did make a trade offer to these Texans for 3 first-round picks for the next 3 years and 3 third-round picks, along with Cesar Ruiz, and I have heard rumblings also as well that Paulson Adebo is included into that trade, which doesn't surprise me since they just signed Bradley Robertson extension. So we'll let you talk about what you think about the trade, Jerrette. What you think, what the pros, what the cons, and what the percentage you think it is that all that smoke. If the smoke is fire, what you think if it's true or go on and so forth.
For me, I'm gonna just start with game changer, right? So Deshaun Watson, I'll say he's a top 3 quarterback in the league when he's on the field. Guy can do it all. He can run, throw on the run, sit in the pocket, throw darts, throw 50, 60-yard bombs. And most importantly, he's only 26. He's going to be 27 in September, I believe. So still in his physical prime, right? What is there not to like about him? Cons is, well, you don't know if he might not be able to play the beginning of the season. Knowing the NFL and Roger Goodell, he like to make their stamp on everything and like to, be the judge and execution of everything. So everybody's assuming that he's going to be out at least 4 to 6 games minimum. So one thing about that is that he might not be playing beginning of the season. That's one bad thing about that. But I mean, we're talking about the future here. That's your franchise quarterback if the Saints so happen to pull it off for the next 10 years, next decade. I mean, you cannot pass that opportunity up when the opportunity persists itself. That's my opinion.
And that's fair, Jerrette. Like I say, I'm not gonna stray too far from what you said, because like I said, I'm gonna piggyback off you a little bit. I'm 100% for the trade. If that trade offer was the truth, which I say I do go ahead and probably believe that it was an actual trade offer. If Andrew Drews did report it, to me that's a steal. 3 first-round picks. We don't really draft good in the first round anyway. These Saints fans and these other people like Stanford Rett, who I love, by the way, great journalist for ESPN, hardcore Saints fan. I love his work and everything. Very big fan. You can't look into this 2017 draft class and get too carried away. Let's just go to the first-round picks since that 2017 draft class. So 2018, Marcus Davenport. We all know Marcus' struggle still on the field. 2019. Want to help me out, Jeff? I don't know who it was. Was 19? Was it? Did we have a first round pick in 19? I think it was Eric McCoy. I don't think we had a first round pick in 2019. So it was gone. I think we traded that away. So Eric McCoy was our actual first pick, but it was the second round. 2020, our first round pick.
Davenport? No, Cesar
Ruiz.
Ruiz
was our first round pick. And then this year, of course, was Peyton Turner. Now, let me go ahead and give y'all a little dose of reality. They all can go, including Marcus Davenport. Like I said, we did sign our defensive end back, which I do like. I forgot his name. It just slipped my mind right quick. But
Carl Granderson.
Yeah, Carl Granderson, who I love. Now, he's not an every down player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a great situational pass rusher. And I think if we have to, we could also, kick Anyamata on the outside if we need to provide a pass, because we have very, very strong depth in the defensive tackle room. So I don't think it's nothing that we can't overcome if they wanted both of them. But I think none of them were included in the trade. I think they did want more secondary help, and they wanted offensive line help to try to protect the young quarterback. But like I said, the trade is a home run in many facets. The only negative to me is the off-the-field issue. Now, if you ask me, trade off or get Deshaun for that trade and him missing the 6th game of the season and having him for 10 years, for 12 years, I can give two shits. That's an even trade off for me. We might not have Allen for 6 games. So, like I said, man, I'm going to try to be as politically correct as I can by saying this. But with newsflash, the NFL is in the business of more code. They're trying to win football games. The NFL is a business. I know fans and fanatics and of teams really try to look into, digging into this man's background or whatnot. And like I said, I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but just from college, man, there wasn't a peep. In high school, wasn't a peep. His character was never questioned his first 4 years in the league until this stuff started popping up. I'm not saying it's all cap, and I'm not saying nothing didn't happen, but for instance, imagination, I just find it hard to believe 22 females, facilitators is always true. And for him to get not even charged criminally for those acts, to me, really says a lot. Now, the guy, maybe he needs to pick his crowd a little better and definitely maybe settle down and find a good family woman and leave the woman alone and stop putting himself in terrible situations. And maybe he might be a borderline asshole to women. And, that's a discussion for another day, and it's not a discussion for us to really have a discussion for, because can he help you win football games? And can he stay out of trouble? If he can do that, the trade is definitely worth it. So I say I'm definitely in the ballpark of 100% do it, get him in the building, get him acclimated to our culture, to our locker room culture and everything. And I think he'll fall right in line, fit right in. And just from an organization standpoint, as far as the Saints culture, we have a way better structure and organization in Houston and Atlanta and Carolina. If he wants structure, if he wants to win almost immediately, New Orleans is the place to be. And like I said, man, this has nothing to do with all the field issues. I'm going strictly football. This is football, and he can help us win games, man. Like I said, like Andrew, I did listen to Andrew Judge on 103.7 a game, South Coast, by the way, about the situation. And from what I'm understanding, Jameis is probably almost going toward a plan C. If they strike out on Deshaun, they'll look into Jimmy G, and now since Baker might be available, they might even look Baker. But Jameis is on the outside looking in for the job. And love Jameis, man. Really hard to see him go. But he'll be like a last option. And who knows? By the time they get to option Jameis, he might be off the board another team already. So, like I said, I do wish James the best of luck, man. It was fun seeing him here. Really hate that he had a season cut short. Really thought he could have done some great things if he would have stayed healthy, but it happens. Deshaun Watson, man, I'm ready for him, man. I'm ready for that quarterback.
I believe James, if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been in the future plans. It's just a very unfortunate situation that he tore his ACL, and then now he might be out the first couple of months. I mean, he's rehabbing pretty good, but you can't bank on him recovering 100% to start the season. So why not take a shot? And everybody says, all the reports saying that Dennis Allen, he's in the forefront, the one that's pushing this trade. So he wants his quarterback. And like I said, when they first hired him, let him mold this team into what he sees fits. This is no longer.
So I want to go ahead and roll off a question off of you, what you just said, Jerrette.
Whatever, okay.
How do you liken this? The Saints, especially with the Sean Payton era, wasn't really an aggressive team in like trade market and free agency. Yeah, we made a few free agency splash spending moments. Not too many small ones. A la Kobe Fleener, a la Jerry Bird, a la Jason David.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Like I said, I can go further. Y'all want me to dig back to Bucky Jones, the White man. Man,
disgusting.
Let's not even go there. So like I said, what do you think about this new aggressive way of thinking with Allen at head coach? Was being aggressive on trying to get his quarterback, being aggressive at getting a safety to replace Marcus Williams, not waiting a day, letting Marcus walk, but Marcus made a damn good safety, might I add. If he comes back healthy, I don't think we drop a beat. I think it actually helps us out a lot more on the run. And I think he's a lot more versatile than Marcus. Marcus is more of a deep cover zone safety that, good ball, rangy safety that he's a ball hawk. But I think Marcus should be that and also come down and lace a number. Also not afraid to go up and he's not afraid of the moment. Like he's gonna go up and knock the ball down. He's gonna hit you. He's gonna do it all. I think he could be a great asset to the team. But like I said, just to go back to the question though. Talk about rambling off there. But how you liking this aggressive front office under the first month of the new reign of Dennis Allen? And is it all going to be for nothing? Is Sean Payton really in the back calling the shots? He's going to come back and steal Dennis Allen's job and want to coach Deshaun Watson, or are they going to just kick Dennis Allen to the curb and everything? Like, what you thinking?
Well, for that speculation of Sean Payton being in the background, I don't know that. Now, is that possible? Who knows? But I like the aggressive approach because if you're gonna give this man Dennis Allen the reins of a head coach, then he needs to be judged by his team. Let him make his moves. Let him, make the decision that he sees best for his squad. So in that case, if it does backfires, if the players don't work out, then we can judge them upon, hey, these were your decisions. This is your fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So I like, let him mold this team just like how Sean Payton molded the team within, his personality. Let Dennis Allen do the same because this is no longer Sean Payton's team. So Dennis Allen should have that say-so to do the exact same. And we can be able to judge him truly about the decisions he made and the decisions he didn't make when we're comparing him to Sean Payton within the coaching cast. Within, did he really do good or did he do bad? That's my approach on it. Give the man a chance to prove himself.
And honestly, to be real, I love it. Like I said, I love the aggressive. I love you letting this man go out and get him a quarterback, letting him go make a run. Um, the Saints, especially lately with Sean Payton. Sean, was there for 16 years. But let's just go back to Jim Haslett and Mike Ditka. Man, those guys should have been fired way before they had got fired. The regimen with Tom Benson he's always gave his head coaches a chance to come out of a hole and have a bad season too, and stuff like that. He never really bagged on his coaches. He always stayed with his coaches. That's one thing I can respect about Tom. Rest in peace. He always gave his coaches a chance. Let's just say within the last 30 years, we've had 3 head coaches. And that's dating back to, the 90s, late 90s. So that's 30 years. So we had, not 3, I think it's 5, which ain't still too bad because the last 20 years or so, or like 25 years have been 2 coaches. It's been Jim Haslett and it was Sean Payton. I think Haslett was there from 98 all the way up until 2005 when he got fired. So that was 7 years. Add on Sean Payton's 16. So past 25 years, 2 head coaches. And then Mike Ditka, he had a little shorter reign. I think he was there for about 3-4 years. And Jim Moore was there for about 8, 9. I think Jim Moore was there from like 87 around there. No, he was there to Dawn Patrol from 87 to around 94. And then they got, I think Ditka had from 94, 98. But like I said, this organization doesn't like change. They hate to see Sean go. And my thing is, are they going to really do this to Dennis Allen? Because I just got this strange feeling that Deshaun came back for a chance to play for Sean Payton. I just don't think. Yeah, I think the Mike Tomlin situation and the relationship with Mike Tomlin and Deshaun Watson is a very strong reason why he wants to come to New Orleans. But I think Sean has some up his sleeve. Don't quote me on this. I just think that even if Dennis Allen have a great season, if he goes to the Super Bowl, I don't think Sean will ball them and come back. But if he goes out in the first round and Sean has an itch, they're going to move on from Dennis, and they're going to let Sean come back and coach Deshaun Watson. That's just my take on it. The money isn't really that bad, and I think Dennis Allen will be respected a lot because, like I said, Sean has left the door open to come back to coach. So we'll see, man. Like I said, I really hope Dennis Allen the best. I really hope this team we can mold this team in his image, and we can win some good football games and pray for the less. If we do get him, which I'm hoping that we get him, this is going to be out tomorrow. So the news is going to be out on Thursday. So we're recording this Wednesday night. But hopefully this news is breaking that we do have Deshaun and Dennis Allen can have a fighting chance. And then suspension is going to be as less game as possible. Hopefully the 4-game range.
And before we move on, though, I just wanted to point out that this guy, Deshaun Watson, I mean, he did pass for 4,800 yards with the Texans.
With some trash, by the way.
But, yeah, I mean, his weapons, I mean, the only person he had was Will Fuller, who barely even played the whole year. He was suspended and hurt the end of the whole year.
Kiki, QT.
Yeah. I mean, was Brandon Cooks there? Yeah, Brandon Cooks was there, right?
Cooks was there. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he was there. Come on, if he can do that with that weapon arsenal he had there in Houston.
No running game, by the way. So, like, I don't know.
The Saints is the play. You have Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. You're going to have, they're saying that Taryn is waiting to see if he signs or not. So, if he signs with, or if he, waive his no trade clause, come to the Saints, that means Terrence coming back, and that's still a top O-line in the league compared to he was running for his life damn near every snap with the Texans. You're going to be protected. You're going to have an offense around you. You have weapons around you. Could we use another tight end? Yeah. Could we use another wide receiver? Of course. But if that signing happens, people are gonna want to come play with him and come play with the Saints. I mean, your offensive line, dude, that's a top O line in the league.
Even
You
without
have,
Louise, garbage.
and then you have a defense. So that's just me, and I'm not just speaking, as a Saints fan here. I'm not trying to be a homer, but to me, that makes the most sense between Carolina and Atlanta and Cleveland. The report saying that's who you need to choose from. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
All right. Well, so we go ahead and switch topics, man, and move on to these pals, man. Currently, right now, they're a game up on the San Antonio Spurs for the Tennessee. They're a game behind the LA Clippers, the LA Wakers, the trash Lakers. That is on a free fall right now, with the hardest schedule remaining in the NBA. They're probably going to fall out of the race for the 10th spot, period in general. But we'll go ahead and start off with this and do a little recap on the Rockets game, and go ahead and recap a little bit of that blowout Suns game, man. And I hopefully wish that we could that we can go ahead and see what's going on with that. So what did you think about the game, the Rockets game, which was a pretty big blowout, might I add? And what's your thoughts on that blowout game on Tuesday night?
Rockets game to me, it was a well needed win versus a bad team. They needed to get that game. I've been praying that they need to go to Jonas for more, especially between this time when BI and CJ has been hurt. You need to go to Jonas. He is a clear mismatch down there. You just have to attack it, and you play off of Jonas, especially when your top two scorers is missing. So, for me, it was about time. It was a well needed because they've been on a 4-game slide. What a bad time for injuries to come up on BI, and of course CJ McCollum went to the health and safety protocols. But they needed a bounce back. They needed a win. Like if they would have been, I was hoping they would go 2-2 on that home stretch, but they wound up going 1-3, which it could have been worse. But that game against the Rockets, well needed. Jonas feasted, which he should have. No one could have guarded him, and it was an all around good team W. Like even Najee Marshall had a double double. Jose had a double double.
I missed on that bet. I had the bet.
You did.
I had the bet in my open bet slip, bro. Najee Marshall plus 2,800 for a double double, and I'm sorry I blew it, y'all. I know the sports betting is taking me by storm. I really had a hunch that Najee was going to have a good game, and I didn't follow my gut. So like I said, I deserve an L, and I'll take that one with me. But I want to go ahead and piggyback off of Jerry on this Jonas situation, man. I did have some arguments over there in the spaces with Chris Conner. Shout out to Chris Conner, by the way. With Chad, man, Chad about Jonas. Well, first of all, the blasphemy, like him saying that Jonas was a top 100 player. Blasphemy, by the way. Go ahead and add that. So I said, for you to be a top 100 player, let's go ahead and break it down into positions. So, 5 starters. You got 20 starters each position. So 20 centers, 20 power forwards, 20 small forwards, 20 shooting guards, and 20 point guards. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little take. Sometimes maybe it might fluctuate. Maybe let's just say top 15 centers and give 2 to the point guard or whatever. Let's split up among the rest of them. Okay. You can really name, like I said, let's just go to the numbers, man. I'm going to do some numbers. 17 points and 11.3 rebounds. He has 44 double doubles. 17 points is right now is fourth among centers. The rebounds is fourth among centers, and he's averaging double doubles, which is fifth among centers in double doubles. That's in the NBA really. Fifth, he's fifth. He has 43. I think it's 44 now, if I'm not mistaken. He had a double double last night. And that's top five. So my question is, I understand that he does have a little trouble with the really athletic centers, and sometimes he struggles a little bit with centers with good body positioning. Like they know what to do. They get their hip on them and they force them and move them out. The centers that really have a heavy lower body, he struggles with sometimes. And I think, really and truly, in all honesty, I really don't think he's lacking in strength. I just think that throughout the game and throughout the season, he's a little worn. He's a little worn down, and he spends so much offensively for us and trying to keep us in the game. Because, we need Jonas to score 17 a night. Like, we need every bit of those 17, especially without B.I. and C.J. We need him in the 30 range. But with them, he needs to be in the 17 range. And I'm just really confused on what else he has to prove onto being a good center. The Jarrett Allen comparison to me was just total disrespect. I like Jarrett Allen, man. He's a good young player. But what does he do better than Jones but jump high and block shots and got an afro? I mean, he's just athletic. I mean, that's really what he's better than Jonas at. Like I said, Jonas is the more complete player. Like I said, he could run and jump and block shots. But as far as putting the ball in the hoop, post game, post work, mid range, rebounding, he's only averaging 0.2 more blocks than Jonas in the season. Jonas is averaging right about 1 block, and he's averaging 1.3. So as far as rim protection, Jonas is just as good as far as the stats concerned. And I know people be like, "Oh, look, I'm talking about the eye test, man." Sometimes the eye test lies to you, man. Everything that glitters ain't gold. You can't just be looking at the eye test and it's automatically assuming somebody's better. The stats among the whole season, we went through a whole season now. This ain't no small little 5-game sample size. This is the whole season. Jones is dominating him in every statistical category. And he's also dominating Rudy Gobert in every statistical category except blocks. Rudy Gobert has double-doubles with him and Jonas is tied right now. I think they're both tied at 44. But Jonas is beating Rudy Gobert in rebounds, in points per game, and in assists, and they're tied in double-doubles. Rudy's averaging like 1.9 blocks a game. That's 2. So he has him in that. I mean, what else do we want from Jonas as a complete center he's providing right now without our top, inside player? Because, like I said, we got Jonas to stretch the floor for Zion. If people might not understand, we wanted Jonas so he could. We had a banger in there, man. We had Steven Adams. It wasn't working. We traded him. We got Jonas to be able to stretch the floor a little bit and not take as much punishment to work in the mid-range, a little 15 to 17-foot jump shot, occasionally step out in 3, and let Zion just dominate in the paint. That was the reason we have Jonas. And now we're getting mad because sometimes he gets dominated in the paint Sometimes he gets pushed around. He gets beat. You know what I'm saying? So I just say it's really a double-edged sword, man. And I really think that Jonas isn't the problem. And like I talked to, the spaces around about this, man, I really think Jonas has been one of our bright spots. I really think he was robbed from being an all-star, honestly, to be real. But it's kind of just another day. But, yeah, man, like I just don't know, man. I don't know why we're blaming Jonas for our issues.
I think it just everybody expect him to be that Joel Embiid. Like everybody expect him to be at that Jokic. Like not every center. That's the 2 outliers in the whole league.
Yeah, man.
They're the only 2 centers that is dropping 30, almost 30 a night, man. They don't only two. Like, let's take it what it's worth. Jonas is doing a hell of a job at the center. If he getting to 17 a night, 15, 17 a night, I'm good with that because that's not his role. That's not his guy. And that's not his MO. His MO is to bang, get a couple jump hooks, every once in a while hit a three, hit a mid range. We have two scores. It's supposed to be three.
Yeah,
But
that's not what we brought him in for.
Exactly. We have two elite scorers, BI and CJ now. So he doesn't have to. We don't need him to drop 30. That's not who he is. Yeah, some nights he can when he has a clear mismatch, but I think he's doing a fantastic job so far, man. And I like Jones.
Like I said, man, I ain't the one to bring up, any arguments and whatnot, but I just felt like, my argument was backed up with statistical data, So, honestly, man, I was into the radio on my way for this drive to Mississippi today, and Ali Cosell was on the line, and we have 13 games left to end the season. So, realistically speaking, we said we need to go right around the 5 and 8 range to hold down the 10 seed, which is about 40% winning, or 40% winning percentage, which is really about our record right now. Which is we're about 40% winning.
Well, hopefully we get beyond that.
If we get BI and make a little run, I really think 5 wins is really cutting it close. That's a little too sweaty for me. Thinking we're going to be playing 500 ball.
I think that's the floor. 5 wins.
That should be the floor. I just really think we need to be going into the play on our best foot. If we can go 500, we're going to be the 9th seed. I firmly believe that if we can go 7 and 8, 8 and 7 in these last 13, not 7, 7 and 6, around there, or 8, and, because we got 13, so 7 and 6, 7 and 6, or it's around there, 7 and 6, 6 and 7. We don't need to be running around that 5 and 8. I think we need to be either 7 and 6 or 8 and 5. That's my take on it. To really be going into the playoffs on our best foot forward, so we're not, because like I said, I don't have much expectation. I'm gonna temper my expectations for this team. I don't expect them to go make noise in the first round. I just want them to go ahead and get a little taste of that playoff magic, man. Even if they lose, the first round in the play-in, I said as long as it's not against the Lakers, man, I could dig it. But if it's against the Lakers, I want to win for sure. I want a W.
Yeah.
But like I said, at the end of the day, I just want this team to get a taste of the playoff atmosphere, and I want them to want that more. I want them to gravitate to that energy that's going to be in the Smoothie King or in the fucking crypto, that fucking knockoff Staples Center they got. You know what I'm saying? I want them to feel that playoff energy. I want them to crave that and use that and fuel that for next year with a fully healthy Zion and a CJ fully acclimated into the rotation and whatnot.
Well, how you think? So, BI's out with a slight hamstring pull or whatever the hell it is, hamstring. So soft tissue injuries are usually the trickiest injuries, right? So you think, let's say BI doesn't come back till next week, because they say they're going to reevaluate him 7 to 10 days, and then after reevaluation, you got to practice and do this. So let's just say he comes back next week.
Yeah, they said the target date from what Ali was saying is that March the 20th. So I'm not sure what game that is. Right now we're on the 16th. So if I had to guess, it'll be the first game next week. Is what they were talking. I don't think he's going to play this week. I think he's going to miss Friday. Probably going to miss Sunday. And then the next day will be the 21st. So we play San Antonio Friday. And we got a back-to-back Atlanta and against Charlotte. My guess is he doesn't play a back-to-back. My guess is he misses San Antonio, he missed the Atlanta game, and he's going to play for Charlotte. And he'll be back for that Charlotte game.
Well, do you think so? After Charlotte, right? So we have Charlotte, Chicago, Spurs. Yet again, those Spurs games are very important games for the division.
Mm-hmm. Very. That's kind of two.
Lakers and Trailblazers. What do you think their record is in that 5 game span right there?
They gotta go 4-1, bro. If they want to go ahead and get something going, I think 4-1, no less than 3-2. No less than 3-2. Like you cannot go 2-3 in that stretch. You have to win. You have to win both of those games. The Spurs games will be the one most highlighted.
Yeah.
You gotta win both of these Spurs games coming up.
I wouldn't mind an L to Chicago, which
Yeah, we lose to Chicago. I
would love to beat them, but
yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. But that San Antonio Lakers,
Important.
Trailblazers, then Lakers again. They could go from 10 to 9 within that span.
Yeah, they can go from 10 to 12
Yeah.
in that span as well if we don't get our act together. So yeah, in that 5 game stretch, Bulls, Lakers, San Antonio, Trailblazers, and Hornets. So that's 6 games, right? So they need to go 4-2.
I think they have a good chance if Bianca
and
back.
If Bi's back for that Charlotte game, I really don't expect much. The San Antonio game is almost a must-win on Friday because if we don't win this game, I think we could be in some serious trouble and losing ground for San Antonio. So, like I said, man, we get BI back. I think that CJ could propel us into a win if the X factor is going to show up. So I think Willie needs to start acclimating Jackson into having some more offensive touches so he can be an X factor in the Spurs because I don't think they have an answer for him. Honestly, they don't have anybody athletic to match up with. So you need to go ahead and put him on there, and he's gonna be out there. We need 20 points from Jackson against San Antonio because Papa's gonna take CJ out of the game. He's not gonna let CJ beat him.
Back to Jonas. Jonas needs to dominate.
Yeah, he needs to dominate too. We need 20
to dominate Jakob Poeltl. He needs to dominate.
And I know I talked I got some shit about Jakob Poeltl dominating and whatnot. Jonas needs to come out and he needs to establish a physical presence and throw his weight around and dominate him from the start. I need 10 points from Jonas in the first quarter. He needs to come out and say, not today. He needs to come out and dominate it and set the tone physically against the Spurs on Friday. We can do that. I think we kill their spirits quick and we coast to a W. But Pop would not let CJ beat him. I don't think he scores 30 points. He will double team and rush him.
Before we leave, man, I just want to add that after the All-Star break, that 4-game span when we went 4-0, the defense was flying around. I've yet to see the defense have that same energy since then. They need whatever it was. That's the key, man. Like lately, they've been giving up 140. They gave up 140 something to Charlotte. They gave up 130.
It's the perimeter defense, man. We're giving up way too much.
Defense needs to step up. That's the key to me. I think we be able to score. It's just defense, man. Defense.
Yeah. Well, man, like I said, that's probably it for the show, man. I done got my take out. Man, like I said, we'll be monitoring the Deshaun Watson and the Pels progress over the next couple of days. Like I said, we might do a special episode if Deshaun does come, like a little 11-minute clip on who got traded and whatnot, and we'll go from there, man. Like I said, I'm Daniel. Dan, they call me. Chef Dan. Like I said, I'm on Twitter. Look at DJ Go. He's Jerrette. Twitter handle is all next to that, man. And we out, man. Y'all have a good and blessed week. We'll catch y'all next Thursday, man.
Yes, sir.